35.
Ball carrier. The tackle made at the 36-yard line. A gain of 11 on the play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First carry now for Joshua Kelly, the former Bruin. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Steps away to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Frank Clark, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch him flat-footed and get a big play. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, right at the 30. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
At the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And they will finally drag him down at the Chargers' 31-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
I love football lingo, the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
it. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to move.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Matt Ioannidis able to drop him for a loss of a couple. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes, that one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
14-yard line.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill there to make the grab. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're forced to play catch-up early in this division round game as they search for a seat in the AFC Championship round. And he'll be out right at the 35.
Bert, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So they run the option here on 1st and 10. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Fighting through, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Chris Jones gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. 7th play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll try to run with Edwards-Helaire. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
He was brought down by...
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure...
It don't matter.
All the way in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. 72 yards. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Throwing is Mahomes on third. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Escaping the pressure right. And going deep for Hill. And this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get a nice